Right, well, welcome to the Crossways. Tommy, glad to have your company today for we'll start calling it like a traditional pre-season podcast, I think. This is going to be a bit of a look ahead to what we've got coming up. Season, of course, starts Saturday. And a few other things as well. But we'll start with the business end stuff first. We're 2 days away from the new season. Obviously, we've had the FA Cup already, and we've had a really good start in that. But what are your hopes for the season ahead? Let's start with a nice big general question for you.
Well, I think every player wants to go in the season going for promotion. That's the aim. You don't set off in a season saying you want to finish mid-table or in a relegation battle. You want to be in promotion, obviously. We've had a good start. FA Cup, 2 games, unbeaten. Obviously, we had pre-season before as well. And pre-season's a bit different to actual games. Changes throughout the game. It's not very fluent. I don't think it has been fluent in pre-season, but since the FA Cup started, we've been quite good. We've been well up for it, and it's been a good start. So I'm hopeful for this year. I'm very confident.
So we've had a sort of few changes, haven't we, in terms of personnel? I was looking at the team sheet from the last game of last season. I think it was only 4. There were some injuries, obviously yourself included at the time, but there was only 4 or 5 names that were the same last Saturday when we started in the Cup.
Yeah.
A couple of changes in sort of defensive positions, well 3 actually.
Yeah.
So Carl's had to get his head round a lot, playing with 3 different people around him. So I don't know how he's done managing that.
Well, Carl's been absolutely fine. Obviously, we've had Ben come in and G, who've been spot on.
Yeah.
Both the FA Cup games, they're up and down, high energy, they're strong. So they've been a good addition to us. And obviously, I think Ben got man of the match on Tuesday night. So
he did, that was my call out. That was right.
Yeah. So it shows.
I would have given it you if that volley had gone in.
I know. Close one at that. What have done with the brace, mate? I've never had a brace before.
I was going to ask you that question.
Yeah. I've never had a brace, no. It's unfortunate. Great save, they wanted that.
Yeah, it was.
But yeah, new additions have been good. They've upped the team, so I think it's going to make us better for the season coming.
It's strange, isn't it? How, like Tuesday, I think a lot of people left that game coming away thinking, oh, this is all right. In fact, possibly the most frustrating thing was that we only won the game 3-2, because the actual performance probably deserved a 3-goal victory maybe, or something like that. But,
I think we were dominant for 60 minutes or so. I mean, in that first half, they didn't have a single chance. We had all the chances. Obviously, we were 2-0 leading at half-time, and then, I don't know, we came out at half-time, made a sloppy mistake at the back, which we should have dealt with. They've scored, gives them a bit of confidence. But unfortunately, we've scored straight after. Tom Jones put one in the back of the net again. But yeah, it was a solid performance. I don't think it was a 3-2 at all, but we got through, and that's all that matters.
So, looking towards these first few games of the season, we've got a home game Saturday. It's always nice to start off at home.
Yeah.
We've got a run of some fairly tricky-looking games. Sort of looking ahead, the Stafford Rangers one is, they've obviously come down a division. We know a little bit about them, obviously. They're not all that far away, and beat them in the FA Cup a couple of years ago, I seem to recall.
Yeah, we did.
So, look, if you don't win on Saturday, of course, you don't get too excited, or you don't get too down, but it'd be good to get 3 points in the bag just to sort of set up for some tricky matches ahead.
Well, it's first game of the season, and you want to start off with a result, a win. Obviously, we had the 2, undefeated now for 2 games. You want that to keep going, don't you? It just builds confidence, ready for the season.
Yeah.
And everyone's feeling confident at the moment. Everyone's buzzing after the last 2 games. So just take that to Mosley. But there's going to be no easy game this year. Yeah. They're all going to be good sides. I don't think there'll be a weak team in the league. So realistically, it's who turns up on the day. Yeah. And I think the last 2 games, we've been the team to turn up. So if we carry that on, we'll be absolutely fine.
Good. Well, this is the sort of positivity that we need, and coming from you, that's very important too, I think, Tommy. So, I mean, it's a 22-team division this season as well. So, I think in the last couple of seasons, we've been dragged down towards that bottom end. I mean, last season we weren't in any danger, but we kind of lost our way a little bit when we had all those injuries, yourself included, sort of around March time. So, this season, a few unknowns. Atherton Collieries, Wythenshawe and Wythenshawe Town.
Both of them, yeah.
We both came up as champions and runners-up of the, whatever the one below us is called, I forget sometimes, North West Counties, is it?
Yeah.
So, there's a few teams perhaps that we don't know as much about. Hensford have had a big injection of cash over the season. Books have gone down last season; they were reprieved. It'll be fascinating, won't it?
Yeah. I mean,
It always is. It
yeah,
always is.
it
You
always is.
always find something to be
Yeah,
excited
it doesn't
about.
matter. Like I said, it doesn't matter who you're playing. I know Hensford have obviously had money chucked at them. They're going to be a good side, but we know that if we're on a day, we can beat them. And obviously the Withenshaws as well coming up there are also known for being good teams. But it's this level. You're going to get good teams now. You're going to get good footballers. So you've just got to be able to match them. And like I said, if you turn up on the day, we'll get results this year. I'm for sure. And I think this year we are quite a physical side, we're quite a dominant side, and I think that's going to play a big part to us succeeding this year.
Good. Neil's first full season with us after coming in at the midway point last year.
Yeah.
What can you say about the difference that he's brought into the changing room as one of the as the player leadership team? I mean, what has changed, would you say?
Neil's very professional, and he's just a born winner. He just wants to win games and win games, and that should be the same for all the players in the changing room as well. We just want to win, and it starts from Neil. He spreads it onto us. We know he's a born winner, and he doesn't matter if he has to upset anyone, or he just wants to make sure that we win. And I think that's a massive part of us succeeding this year. And he's been around everywhere, hasn't he? Obviously at Leek, he succeeded with Leek for many years. He was a top team there, and now hopefully, well, as you saw last year, we had about 6-7 games undefeated, and we were flying, and obviously the injuries hit. But it plays a big part. Neil coming in, obviously he's changed the way we play, and we're playing a lot more football now. So I think he's been a really, really good addition to the team.
Was it difficult adapting to his ways at the back end of back end of last season, and coming through the summer? Are you fully kind of like, well, we know where we are now, we know what's expected of us, and we know what he demands?
Yeah.
Has it been, having had that time to bed in, do you feel like, yeah, we're in a pretty good place actually?
Yeah, I think we're getting there. I don't think we're there yet. There's still more to come, but we are definitely getting there. He's got high expectations, Neil has, and I think all the lads understand that now. So, but like you said, I don't think we're there yet, but we are getting close to where he wants us to be.
And what about your individual role in terms of the captaincy and the leadership that you need to show? Is he said anything to you about what he demands from you as a leader on the pitch?
Oh, what every manager demands, really. You've got to be able to be a voice on the pitch, and you've got to lead as a role model. So if you're not performing, then it sets a bad example for everyone else as well. So obviously it's a big responsibility, but he's had the faith in me, which I'm going to take into the season. And he's also changed my position a little bit this year. In pre-season, I was here, there, and everywhere. I was centre half, centre mid. I was out on the wide. I know he wouldn't like me saying that I was out wide, but sometimes I was. But he's given me the licence to get forward a bit more and try and get a few more goals, which I think.
Well, Tuesday's anything to go by.
Yeah,
you might even have had a hat-trick.
I know. I had a few chances, didn't I? I know, but I'm getting closer to the box. Crosses, I'm in there, and he knows that I can score when I'm in the box, whether it's headers or anything like that. But yeah, he's given me the licence to get forward, which I've quite enjoyed actually.
And is that? I mean, one of the things that I certainly noticed from watching on Tuesday in particular was that there seemed to be a great encouragement for players to sort of get forward, not irresponsibly bombing forward, but people tucking in and covering in spaces perhaps where we were a little bit more rigid maybe before, and saying you're not to do this or you're not to do that, but actually making it more about overall responsibility on individuals rather than saying you can't let the players decide for themselves a little bit.
Every player's got the roles, haven't they? And Neil will just tell you your roles, and if you don't do the roles, then he won't be happy, which is clear. But yeah, he wants players in the box. The only way you win games is by scoring goals. And I think from last year, we had a few crosses from out wide, and we only had 1 or 2 in the box. Like, the likelihood is you're not going to score. Whereas the last couple of games, you see we've got 3 or 4 men in the box. We're getting chances, so yeah, it's just about getting in the box, getting forward, and getting the chances, scoring goals, really. But also recovering. He's big on his recoveries. As soon as you get forward, we lose the ball, you're straight back in.
Yeah, and in terms of sort of the fitness-wise then, because it's always tricky, isn't it, pre-season? At the end of the day, look, we're not a professional club. Everybody has jobs at the end of the day and does different things. So it's you've got to take these sorts of things into account. But in terms of maintaining the levels of fitness that have been required, has that gone well? Would you say?
Yeah, I mean,
not understand. This is about the team, not you.
No. we've had a solid pre-season.
Yeah.
3 times a week training, and obviously with the games. But a big thing, obviously coming from Dean as well, both Neil and Dean, was you've obviously got your training, but to stay fit, you need to do your own things outside of football, whether it's going for a run, going in the gym, or else you're not going to stay fully fit. And obviously with this year, we've got more games to play. I think in August we've got 7 or 8 games, just 2 a week. So lads need to be fit. We need to have big numbers in the squad so we can rotate as well. But so far the fitness has been class. Everyone's well up for it and been there, so it's good.
And what as I say, a few new players have come in, like G, as you mentioned, and Ben at fullback, and a few others. Certainly they've caught the eye, I would say, early doors, definitely. What have they, when you get new players in, what does it do for the squad overall? I mean, obviously, some people are going to be unhappy because, positions are under threat all of the time, and that's probably healthy, I think.
Yeah,
you should never be too comfortable.
Yeah, no, you need competition for places. Obviously, we've got, last year we had Ollie and Dobbs, left back and right back, who were solid as well, and they're obviously still in the squad and can do a job for us. But bringing in Ben and G, just competition for places, and as you've seen last 2 games, they've been class. They're up and down, they're high energy, they win the tackles, and it's just what you want. Yeah. But it might just give Ollie and Dobbs a bit of a lift and say, I want to get back in the team, and so
But also different matches and types opponents call for a different type of player as well, doesn't it?
We're going to need the whole squad this year. The amount of games that we play, we're going to need to swap and change, and I think we've definitely got that.
Previous seasons, I mean, probably towards the back end of when your old man was managing the team, there did seem to be a reliance on set pieces a lot for goals, and that, as you've already alluded to, it's not enough.
They should be extra.
Yeah,
they should be the extra goals. They're the goals that might pinch you a win or anything like that, or get you inspiration. But set pieces are important, but you can't rely on them. You can't score enough from set pieces to get you up the table. But they are a big part of what Bakes is focused on this year. Obviously, we've got loads of big lads in the team, and that's going to be one of our strengths. But like you said, you need to score goals elsewhere if you want to be up there.
I think that's actually something. Also, that I noticed in terms of like the physical presence. There's yourself, there's Kyle, there's Tom that's coming to the side, and you've got like Isaac, and I think there's been commented on that he's certainly a strong-looking lad.
He is a very strong lad.
Is it you youngsters say a specimen?
He's a specimen, yeah. He knows he's a specimen as well.
Oh right, okay.
Well, I think he's a PT, so he's in the gym all the time. He's working on building up his recovery and everything, so he's spot on with that. But not only just Kyle and Tom Thorley, we've got Sherritt. He's a beast in the middle. You've got Nathan Barry up front.
Yeah, of course. So
we've got loads of lads that are dominant, which is going to be big for us.
Yeah. And then to complement those players, obviously, the likes of Tom Jones and Twiggy.
Yeah. Who have had a good start to the season as well.
Absolutely. And Jake, when he comes back, I mean, that's quite. What was encouraging to me was we looked a real threat on Tuesday. Jake wasn't even involved, so it's nice to know that he's
our top goal scorer.
Because I mean, I think there were times where Tom started brilliantly, then had a bit of a drop off, and before Nathan sort of came into the team, we were like looking to Jake all the time to score, and it's a lot of pressure to put on one player.
It's too much pressure for one player, but like you said,
Jake's
Jake's
maybe that's why he snapped his calf. Just to see if anyone else could do it. And now he's thinking, oh my word, they can.
He's not going to get back in, is he? But like I said, Jake was our top goal scorer last year, and we still got him to come back in. So it's only going to lift us even more. But once again, there's competition for places up top. Those 2 performing, Jake to come back in. We've got 3 good strikers who can all score goals. Which is something, do you know what, we've not had for maybe not since I've been at Castle.
Right.
3 goal scorers up top, which is huge for us.
And different types of goal scorers.
All 3 of them are different,
Yeah. So, looking back at the Cup, obviously we've got through on Tuesday night and I was looking at a statistic that I certainly didn't know. We'd never been knocked out at that stage we haven't been knocked out of that stage for 17 years. So
Because that was a comment on Twitter, wasn't it? I saw,
I can't remember where it came from, but I mean, it was a reliable source. So we go into the next round, and we got the draws haven't been kind. We're stuck away draws the first 2 times, but if we can get through this next one, and then you kind of hope maybe the draw might be a little bit kinder, and you get a home game, because these are the kinds of games, in all seriousness, for a club of our size that can really make a big difference, aren't they? You don't seem like it when you're in those early rounds. You go to these tiny clubs, but if you can get through a few rounds,
well, you get the team on the map as well, don't you? You get like I think
especially with the BBC coverage.
Yeah,
picks
exactly.
Up now,
I mean, a couple of years ago we went through 3 rounds, I think it was, and then we lost to Congleton somehow. We were 2-0 up
well,
as
it's
well.
just more time. Yeah, 2-0 up, and then lost 3-2.
Yeah, and
then they had the TV cameras with them for their next game, and you're thinking that would have been you.
But you know it's possible, don't you? You just got to turn up on the day and perform. I think we've got Westfields, is it next?
That's it, Westfields, yeah. There's a Hellenic Premier.
I don't really know anything about them.
Hereford, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Really. But yeah, probably on paper, you would say we would start as favourites.
Yeah.
They're from a 1 division lower than we are, but means very little. We've seen already that a few teams from our division have gone out to clubs from below them, so it doesn't mean a lot on the day. You've got to be mentally right
for it. Yeah.
But like I said, all the lads have got their heads switched on this year. They're all well up for it. You've got to treat it as every game as a cup final, haven't you? That's all it is.
I think so, yeah. And you never know, if we win 12 of them, it will
You
be a
might
cup
get
final.
there.
Probably unlikely, but until it hasn't happened, it's still a chance.
It's hopeful.
So, I completely forgot what I was going to say. So going forward, we've obviously got some couple of big league games, as you say. We've got Mossley on Saturday. I think they were the only team we managed to get a double against last season, so we've got some good history there. Yeah.
I think the past few years we've had good results against them.
Okay, so perhaps it's not a bad fixture to start with.
No, but like I said, it's pre-season. You get loads of players come in, different teams, change the size, so you can't expect too much from it.
No, obviously we lost league because they were promoted, so congratulations to them. But we now have Congleton come into our division, as you just mentioned. We had a sort of a little bit of history with. They certainly seem to be one of the favoured clubs, so people seem to like them.
We've got a big backing,
It always makes me
haven't
very, Sorry, if there's any Congleton fans watching this, you're all good, I'm sure. But, a club that's very much on the rise. FA Vars semi-finalists last year, and obviously champions of their division. So, I expect a good couple of games with them. And obviously we've got all the usual sort of local clubs in with us as well, and Stafford Rangers are coming in too, who we play next Tuesday.
It's quite a local league for us, isn't it?
It is. I think so. Clitheroe's still the furthest away, which is only like less than an hour and a half. So it's quite
It's handy for us, really.
Well, I was talking to one of the committee members at Evesham United on Saturday, and they obviously had their trip up to us on Tuesday. Their first league game is down the south coast of Cornwall.
4 hours away.
If you're lucky.
Wow.
if you're lucky, you'll do it in 4 hours in August.
That is ridiculous, isn't it?
So, I think while certainly it's a very, very competitive division we play in, it's probably no bad thing that we don't have to make those sort of trips. So. Right, Tommy, I'm going to turn this into a slightly more abstract part of the interview now. So he just reaches for his water. That's always a nervous tick, that is, Martin.
No, I've got training later anytime. No, I'm all right, mate, thank you.
Yeah. I queued that one up for you, didn't I? You're all right?
I'm all right, I'm all good.
Martin, is that all right? You drank yourself, yeah.
It's orange juice.
Indeed it is, thank you, Tommy, yeah. Good. I'm glad you clocked that, because other people might have thinking it wasn't. A bit cloudy, orange juice, isn't it?
It is a bit cloudy.
Where were we? Yes, abstract. Now, one of the things I've been trying to get into the players is we want to try and liven things up with the old match day experience. Okay. And you players, very, very athletic, very dedicated training and all that sort of thing. Bit lazy when it comes to answering questions from the media team, which is frankly very disappointing. All right, so can you please pass that on? I'm not pleased.
I've seen an interview the other day. Tom Jones, was it? I think he was a bit nervous for that one.
I tell you what, he's a good lad.
He is a good lad.
I think that there's a lot more to come from him too.
Yeah.
There's a lot more to come. Anyway, that's about the football. We're doing the music bit now.
Okay.
Right. Saturdays, home games, because we're going to be scoring lots of goals, very important to have, I think, personalised goal music for players. So at the moment, and Stubbsy, I apologise for this, we didn't cue it. I'll blame it on Martin. But
Did you play goal, did you, for Stubbsy?
No, he wants gimme, 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 a man after midnight, which, you know,
Yeah.
why not?
Yeah.
You know, that's very characterful, I think, very, very much Stubbsy. So yeah, we have him. Tom Jones doesn't get a choice, unfortunately. Bless him. But as long as he keeps banging them in, nobody minds.
Yeah.
But we are a bit struggling in terms of suggestions of songs for other players. Now,
Right.
you have made a suggestion today for yourself. Are we okay to say this now?
Yeah, of course.
Yep. So we got.
I might change it over time.
You might change it over time, which is okay. That's fine.
Yeah.
It's about when you're scoring 20, 30 a season, you can have what you
Hopefully.
like. What you know, the Two Doors Cinema Club.
Yeah.
Which, we've had a little blow of that here at Crossways, one of our sponsors.
Yeah.
Don't need to remind people that they are. So yeah, that will be queued up for you.
Perfect.
Because from what I saw on Tuesday, I think there might be a few more coming.
Hopefully.
Oh, cheers, Martin.
Hopefully.
Yeah, we're doing the music bit now, Martin. So, are there any kind of suggestions you might like to think would work with some of your teammates? The wackier, the better. Because you
on
have,
the
let's
spot
face it,
now.
you've got a few mentalists in there, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean, Twiggy. Twiggy's a bit of...
He's
a live wire, Twiggy. He's got a song that he knows every word to,
right, okay.
but I don't know if it's a
Age
winning
appropriate?
song. No, it's probably not age appropriate. It's one for in the change room after.
Oh, okay, right, okay, yeah. Well, it's there.
It's
okay.
yeah.
All
It's
right.
something to think about. You should ask all the lads what they.
Well, we
what
have done.
Have they just not got back to you?
You know, our main media manager, Will, has said he's put it in the group.
And he's not done it, has he? No, he's not. He's not done it.
Oh.
I'll
Oh dear. We'll have to edit that bit out.
I'll try and sort it for you.
Certain assurances
Yeah.
were given. Right. Clearly.
I don't
Right.
think- I don't think he's done it, no.
I think we have to move on for the moment. But yes, there is a mission there. There
Yeah.
is a mission there. Because I think we we have our music, we do our bit, but if people don't like stuff, that's all fine. But they've got to throw up some suggestions. Can't say don't like it and do
Yeah.
nothing. That's it's no good, is it? Right. Okay. So we've done the music. We've done the looking forward for the season. What do you kind of expect in terms of the way we're going to go about the way we play this season? Do you see a change? I mean, you've already sort of said that a couple of changes have seen us pushing up a bit more from defence. Do you see us playing a more attack-minded game than maybe we would have done in previous seasons, Tommy? I mean, we're not going to be gung-ho about it, because
No.
I don't think you can afford to be in this division.
I think every game's going to be different.
Yeah.
You've just got to manage it on who your opponents are, how they're performing, how you're performing. Obviously, if you're not playing very well, you might have to sit back in and play forward quick. But the main aim is don't mess around with the ball in your own half. Don't make any silly mistakes. Try and play forward as quick as you can. Get the strikers on the ball, whether it's in behind or into feet, and just play off them. It's just trying to play through the lines nice and quick and get up the pitch. And it's as simple as that. Obviously, I don't want to give too much away.
No, of course, yeah.
But it's as simple as that.
Yeah.
Don't mess around at the back. Get the ball through the lines nice and quick and get your chances.
Just want to ask you one, actually. You're outside of football. Your profession is as a school teacher. This August must be sort of a strange time. Lots of other school teachers just chilling out, not doing very lot, and you've got a season to prepare for. Does it, when you sort of click into September and the whole school year starts again, is that a different feeling? I mean, I don't know.
Well,
because you're on holiday, but you're not on holiday.
I'm
I always
not.
think.
The 6 weeks off, I've just been. The main thing's football.
Yeah.
Making sure I'm fit. 'Cause obviously I have a knee injury. So I've been doing a lot in the gym. Getting myself ready for the season. Obviously, when work kicks in, it takes your mind off football a little bit, which sometimes is a good thing.
Well, it's a good thing for the school kids because they do need teaching.
Yeah, they do. Well, I've also been playing a lot of golf. That's been my go-to thing this summer.
Ah, yes, that's another one I'll ask you about. So, tell us about these golfing escapades then. Who do you play with and who fancies himself as a bit of a player?
Majority of the
Well, actually,
Castle
who
lads.
fancies himself as a bit of a player who is actually absolute
A player.
mess?
No, Jack Sherritt, that is.
Oh, really?
Jack
Bless him.
Sherritt, yeah. No, I don't think he fancies himself as a player, but he's only just starting. So I think maybe he needs a few lessons to get going.
Right,
But he
okay.
enjoys it still.
That's all right then, isn't it?
Well, there's a few lads that we go golf with. Darbs, Slinny, Stubbsy. Stubbsy's the top dog at golf.
I want to ask you about Stubbs in his golf. I imagine him being really good at absolutely belting the leather off it, but I don't imagine him being quite so tasty coming out of a bunker. But I mean, has he just not spent any time
No,
in
he's,
bunkers?
you know
or-
what? He's all round good.
Is
He
he?
can smash the ball with the driver,
Yeah.
but he Stubbs plays 4 times a week.
Does he?
Yeah, 3,
all
4
right for
times
some,
a week.
isn't it?
He's a part-timer at work, so
Perhaps
got the time
his
to.
clients might not want to hear that, Tommy. I'm sure he works the hours,
Yeah.
just not at the times.
Oh
that
yeah,
you
he
might
works the
imagine.
hours, yeah. But
Exactly.
if you're playing that much, I'm not going to put it down on his ability, but if you play that much, you are going to get a lot better. And I've been playing 2-3 times a week this summer, and my game's improved loads. So I love golf, though. Absolutely love golf. I'm all over it.
Very good, very good. While we're here, Olympics have been going on recently. Have you had a chance to catch any of that at all, or?
I'll be honest with you, no, I've not. If it's on the TV when I'm walking past, have
a little butchers.
Yeah, but I've not really been following it now. I never really have followed the Olympics. It's not my thing, really. I don't know why.
But we spoke about this off air, don't we? But I've just come in from. I'm coming in with a bit of sadness today because the Brazilian women's volleyball team been scuppered at the semi-finals by the old Septics, and that's when you mentioned that you'd actually played a bit of volleyball.
I did, yeah.
So
Back when I lived in Canada, I was playing volleyball from the school for a couple of years.
right.
Quite enjoyed it as well. It was
So,
a good
so
sport.
tell us about. We never actually even discussed this before, but so your sort of years growing up, you just mentioned it there. You were in Canada for a bit. How did that come about?
It was a job offer for my dad. Obviously, we were living in Newcastle up until I was year 3, maybe. I can't remember what age I was then.
Yeah.
But he just got a job offer and he couldn't turn it down. So we moved to Canada for a year.
Yeah.
Did that job over there for a year. We came
What
back
was that like his experience living out there? Bit chilly come Christmas time, wasn't it?
It is, yeah. But you got snow up to your waist.
Yeah.
Summers are like you're in Spain. I mean, the weather, it's what you want. You go skiing in the winter, do what you want in the summer. But it was just a different life. People are a lot different over there as well. And
So how old would you have been at this point, or?
I was 8. I went over there when I was 8. Came back for a year.
Yeah.
In year 5 maybe, and then we lived over there for 5 more years after that.
Wow.
And then we came back at the end of high school.
Right. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it was a brilliant experience. It's coming up to 10 years now.
Since you were there.
Since we came back, yeah.
Yeah. Still keep in touch with any friends from there, or is it tricky these
I
days?
did. I did for a couple of years.
Yeah.
There's one that I might message every year or so, but everyone moves on, don't they? And obviously we moved on over here, and I was only a kid back then, so
yeah, different times.
yeah. My mum and my dad will stay in touch with their friends, but I can't say I do now.
Great experience. Great experience to have
Good
done
experience,
it. Whereabouts
yeah.
was it?
Just outside Toronto, a place called Oakville.
Okay.
Very nice area, very nice area.
Well, I'm hoping when the old World Cup in 2 years is Canada, the States, and Mexico. My plan is to head out to sort of the West Coast.
Right.
Can't fit the place I'm supposed to be going to now because I'm hopeless on geography on that. So I've never been to North America, so
Right.
and bomb down that coast for a bit and taking a few games. That'd be great.
Brilliant. Yeah, that would be good.
Ah,
A few of my mates have mentioned it as well, going over to America for it. So
But if there's space in the van, and you need a media man,
yeah,
you know,
you can off it.
let's see, I can hop in.
Yeah.
Do a bit of driving.
Yeah.
Probably stay off the old
Yeah,
orange
I
juice
would.
for that one.
Yeah.
So you mentioned before. But could be a good trip. That one could be a good trip. Hopefully, England will be a little bit more inspiring to watch this time. Because despite getting to the final, it was well. We can talk about that. Actually, we've done the old Euros. How was it in your family for a start? Obviously, you know you're a proud Englishman, I imagine, but your old man is obviously 50-50. And of course, England played the Netherlands in the semi-final.
Well, he had the Dutch shirt on at home. I watched
Did
it at
he?
home with the family.
Well, I think that's right. I think that's right.
Well, he said because he obviously lived there for 18 years, and he moved to moved to England. That's his home country, isn't it?
Yeah.
The Netherlands. And he put the Netherlands shirt on. We were all sitting there with the England shirts on watching the game, and they scored, I think, 25 minutes in or something.
It was, yeah.
He's jumped up celebrating, and we're all fuming sitting down. So as soon as we scored that first goal,
you just sort of go and celebrate in his face.
Yeah, we celebrated.
That's not a very nice thing to do, is it?
Well, he did it to us, so we celebrated as well. And obviously we won.
Yeah.
And he said, you know what, it's a win-win for me.
Yeah, you're
It's
happy.
England.
Family's
He's
happy.
been here for nearly 30 years. So it was a win-win for him.
I've got one more before we probably start to wrap things up, Tommy. Having the Van der Laan name, so obviously your old man is someone that anyone that follows football locally will know, and a lot that didn't, because I was a Spurs fan. But I think that might have been just before the time that your old man started playing for him. But how's that been? Is it both a blessing and a curse in some ways? Or you not even think about it?
I think it's more of a. It's definitely not a curse. It's
No,
more of a
well,
blessing.
sorry, that was probably a bit extreme, but
It's more of a blessing.
yeah.
Obviously, he's brought me into football.
Yep.
He's made me. He's a big reason why I'm the player I am today. Obviously, he's been my coach for a long time as well. But he's got me this far. Obviously, I went through a rough patch when I was 17, 18, and he just got me through that. And now I'm here, Newcastle Town captain. I'm not quite when my dad played the pro level, but everyone's
There's
different.
not many that do that.
No, I
are
know
there?
exactly. But
You ain't got the air for it either. I mean, I saw some photographs of him when he was younger. My word. Let's just say he looked like he enjoyed life.
yeah, the blonde locks, didn't he?
Oh, the locks.
Yeah, he's been a massive part of my footballing journey.
Yeah.
And it's the Van der Laan name is it's just a name, isn't it? He's the one that's got me here in a way, and
And if you don't mind, I'll tell you we're going to wrap things up, but I'm just going to talk about family really, because I get the sense that you are a very strong family. You know, there's you, obviously, there's Jack, there's your younger brother Max, not to forget your little sister as well, and Matilda, isn't it?
Matilda, yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, I get that sense that you're a big, strong unit as a family, and that's something that's very important to you as well.
yeah. Well, we got brought up that way by my mum and dad.
Yeah.
And obviously the whole family comes watch every home game. They're always there to support. They all love football. Obviously, Jack plays for Castle as well. Max is currently at Stafford Town, who are doing well. But yeah, we've always been a close family. Max and Jack are two of my best mates, really. Which are,
That's lovely.
I couldn't think of anything, or I couldn't think of a worse scenario, really. It's just brilliant having them two by my side. So.
I think of a better scenario, I think.
A better scenario. I was trying to think of it then.
You're trying to be a little bit too
worse
clever with the
scenario,
sentence.
yeah.
Okay. Right, hang on. I've got to try and think about that.
Caught up with my words though.
It's all good, is what you're saying.
It's very good.
It's very good.
It's very good.
Well, Tommy, thank you very much for giving us an insight into the club and the staff, the players, and the season ahead. Obviously, we're all very excited about what can come this season, genuinely excited, and not always said that, but we are this season. So let's just hope you can go out there and continue to enjoy playing your football.
Yeah.
And, keep playing good stuff like we've already seen, and, who knows what we might be able to achieve.
Who knows?
Yeah, there we go, sir. All right.
Cheers.
Good man, Tommy.